Early in the history of Walmart, the company was known for its frugality and strict cost control measures. Sam Walton believed in setting a personal example for his employees when it came to saving money. One day he noticed that the light bulbs in one of the stores were left on all night, wasting electricity. Rather than reprimand the store manager or simply issuing a memo, Sam Walton took a more direct approach. He personally drove to the store late at night and turned off the lights himself. Then, the next morning, he returned to the store and talked to the employees, explaining the importance of conserving energy and how every little cost-saving measure contributed to the company's ability to keep prices low for customers. This hands-on demonstration had a lasting impact on the store's employees, who realized that the company's founder was not just preaching about cost savings, but was willing to take action himself. Also reinforced a culture of thriftiness and attention to detail that became a hallmark of Walmart's corporate culture. The story further illustrates his commitment to his core values, his willingness to lead by example, and his ability to connect with employees on a personal level. Highlights his relentless focus on controlling costs to provide value to customers, a principle that remained central to Walmart's success throughout its history. That was one small story of the subject of today's episode of Leaders on Sam Walton. And with that, welcome back to Leaders, a podcast dedicated to exploring the best leaders this world has ever seen. Episode 19, Sam Walton. Episode 1, we covered another retail leader, Jim Senegal, who learned a lot from Sam Walton, and they have some common mentors and heroes that we will go into here as well. Episode 7, we covered Jeff Bezos, who all three of these people are kind of intertwined in terms of the businesses that they built and the philosophies and varying levels of leadership styles that they exhibit, of which Sam Walton is a lasting legacy through Walmart and its success in the retail space here. And so a book central to this is Made in America, about Sam Walton, and so leverage that in addition to some other sources to try and get a sense of what was Sam Walton's leadership style and how did he effectively lead Walmart into becoming a retail giant, really. And so really where it starts is that Sam's retail career began with the purchase of Ben Franklin stores in 1945. So when he purchased a variety store in Newport, Arkansas, really marked his entry into that industry and laid the foundation for his future success. It wouldn't be until later in 1962 where the first Walmart discount city store would be developed in Rogers, Arkansas, and he opened that, featuring a wide selection of products at low prices. Concept really became the basis for their chain's growth. He did introduce everyday low prices strategy, which aimed to offer consistently low prices to customers. It helped them stand out in the retail industry and build a loyal customer base. In 1968, they expanded beyond Arkansas, so began really beyond their roots, and by opening in other states such as Missouri and Oklahoma, marked the beginning of its national expansion, which would go, much further than this. The company decides to go public in 1970, allowing it to raise some capital for future expansion, providing an opportunity for investors to participate in its growth. They do launch Sam's Club in 1983, a warehouse store concept similar to Costco, covered in episode 1 with Jim Senegal, catering to business owners and individuals seeking bulk purchases at discounted prices. The Walmart Supercenter concept was introduced in 1988, and so that combined a traditional Walmart store with a grocery store, allowing customers to do all their shopping in one place. You see that similar to Amazon and their acquisition with Whole Foods, and so on and so forth. So expansion into international markets began in 1991, and they ventured with opening a store in Mexico, marked beginning of their global expansion, leading to operations in numerous countries worldwide. Tech adoption and supply chain innovation. So they invested over the course of this time heavily in technology and supply chain management to streamline operations, reduce cost, and improve efficiency. Use of barcode scanning, satellite communication systems, advanced inventory management, a few examples there. In the 1990s, they did become the largest retailer in the world. And under Sam's leadership and the guidance of subsequent CEOs, they became the largest in revenue in the world and number of employees, surpassing competition like Sears and Kmart. Sam would live on until 1992, and he passed away. His legacy continues, although, to shape the company's culture and strategies for years to come. And today, Walmart runs 10,500 stores, employs about 2.3 million people, and does over $600 billion in annual revenue. And so just a quick overview there of the timelines that we have set out for Sam and Walmart. And now let's really go into his leadership style, as well as a great list for considerations about how to build a business that he provided as well. So we'll dive into that. And so just a few qualities to start things off with that come to mind, and I think are in some ways similar to Jim Senegal and Jeff Bezos, was in a bias towards action. At the same time, he was very unpredictable, didn't like to set a schedule, and was really independent within his thinking. And then thinking small was an interesting concept. Even when they're a big company, he stressed the importance of thinking small. And really, from a leadership style standpoint, one of the qualities that I think you can peg him with is servant leadership. And so he was really known for his hands-on approach. You see that within the introduction story with the electricity issue. He's really about visiting the stores, conquering the problems head on, seeing the problems firsthand versus hearing about it. And so his willingness to serve his employees and customers, so interacting with them at the stores, listening to their feedback, addressing their concerns. The hands-on involvement demonstrated his commitment to serving others and understanding their needs. Really, with that is a customer-centric focus. So importance of putting the customer first. One of the ways he did this was by focusing on providing everyday low prices to customers, implementing the satisfaction guaranteed policy, allowing customers to return products with no questions asked. Customer-centric approach built trust and loyalty among the shoppers. Another quality is cost-cutting and efficiency, so relentless in his pursuit of those two aspects, encouraging employees to find ways to reduce expenses and improve processes. He introduced the practice of open book management, where employees were educated about the company's financials and encouraged to come up with cost-saving ideas. This approach led to lower prices for customers and increased profitability for the company. He also felt that he needed to empower the employees and giving them a sense of ownership in the company's success. So he would encourage employees to take ownership of their roles and make decisions that benefited both the company and customers, and it fostered really a sense of pride and commitment among the Walmart workforce. He was also about continuous learning and adaptation. So known for his curiosity and willingness to learn from others, frequently visiting not only his own stores but competitors' stores to gain insights into their operations and strategies, and embracing new technologies and retail trends. When he noticed the success of warehouse-style shopping, he adapted and introduced the concept in Walmart stores, leading to the development, as we said earlier, of Walmart supercenters. Frugality and humility as well. Despite having a ton of wealth through building Walmart, he maintained a simple and frugal lifestyle, drove an old pickup truck, often stayed in budget motels during business trips. Humility and frugality set an example for his employees and reinforced the company's commitment to cost cutting, and low prices. Finally, here, a strong company culture. So, fostering a strong company culture emphasized teamwork, integrity, and respect. This culture helped create a cohesive and motivated workforce. For example, the company's cheer, "Give me a W, give me an A," is still a part of Walmart's culture today and is often used in team building activities. One big thing that we can learn from as well from his leadership style is what are the values, what are the things when it comes to rules for running a business. And so he outlines 10 main rules for running a business within the book as well. And so let's dive into those. Number one being a passion for what you are doing is a must. So one really is around commit. So commit to your business, believe in it more than anybody else. He says, "I think I overcame every single one of my personal shortcomings by the sheer passion I brought to my work. I don't know if you're born with this kind of passion or if you can learn it, but I do know you need it. If you love your work, you'll be out there every day trying to do it the best you possibly can. And pretty soon everybody around will catch the passion from you, like a fever." Number two, treat your associates like partners by making sure they are personally incentivized. Share. Share your profits with all your associates and treat them as partners. In turn, they will treat you as a partner, and together you will all perform beyond your wildest expectations. Remain a corporation and retain control if you like, but behave as a servant leader in a partnership. Encourage your associates to hold a stake in the company. Offer discounted stock and grant them stock for their retirement. It's the single best thing we ever did. Number three, although there's more motivation than money and ownership alone, so motivate. Motivate your partners. Money and ownership aren't enough. Constantly, day by day, think of new and more interesting ways to motivate and challenge your partners. Set high goals, encourage competition, and then keep score. Make bets with outrageous payoffs. If things get stale, cross-pollinate. Have managers switch jobs with one another to stay challenged. Keep everybody guessing as to what your next trick is going to be. Don't become too predictable. Number four is really around trust, transparency, communication is crucial. Communicate. Communicate everything you possibly can to your partners. The more they know, the more they'll understand. The more they understand, the more they'll care. Once they care, there's no stopping them. If you don't trust your associates to know what's going on, they'll know you don't really consider them partners. Information is power, and the gain you get from empowering your associates more than offsets the risk of informing your competitors. Number five, appreciate your associates and let them know it. Praise is a free but often neglected incentive tool. Appreciate everything your associates do for the business. A paycheck and a stock option will buy one kind of loyalty, but all of us like to be told how much somebody appreciates what we do for them. We like to hear it often, and especially when we have done something we're really proud of. Nothing else can quite substitute for a few well-chosen, well-timed, sincere words of praise. They're absolutely free and worth a fortune. Number six, celebrate your successes and find some humor in your failures. Don't take yourself so seriously. Loosen up, and everybody around you will loosen up. Have fun. Show enthusiasm always. When all else fails, put on a costume and sing a silly song. Then make everybody else sing with you. Don't do a hula on Wall Street. It's been done. Think up your own stunt. All of this is more important and more fun than you think, and it really fools the competition. Why should we take those cornballs at Walmart seriously? And this quality here makes me think of episode 16. Sarah Blakely, she really also says something similar, and don't take yourself too seriously. She is a kind of stand-up comedian, always kind of the fun, lighter side of the business. So, it can be a contrast, again, with a lot of these leadership styles in that everyone has their own way of conveying this and of their belief in terms of approach here, how they treat themselves, how they kind of view themselves and their daily behaviors. Is it all business, all seriousness? Maybe someone more like Frank Slootman on the last episode wouldn't necessarily agree with this philosophy. He is more about executing, getting things done, and really driven by the results of things. So both could work in certain ways here. Number 7, to push responsibility down in your organization, you have to learn to listen carefully. Listen to everyone in your company and figure out ways to get them talking. The folks on the front lines, the ones who actually talk to the customer, are the only ones who really know what's going on out there. You'd better find out what they know. This really is what total quality is all about. To push responsibility down in your organization and to force good ideas to bubble up within it, you must listen to what your associates are trying to tell you. Number 8, always give your customers more than what they ask for. Exceed your customers' expectations. If you do, they'll come back over and over. Give them what they want and a little more. Let them know you appreciate them. Make good on all your mistakes and don't make excuses. Apologize. Stand behind everything you do. The 2 most important words I ever wrote were on that first Walmart sign. Satisfaction guaranteed. They're still up there, and they have made all the difference. Number 9, control your expenses better than your competition. This is where you can always find the competitive advantage. For 25 years running, long before Walmart was known as the nation's largest retailer, we ranked number 1 in our industry for the lowest ratio of expenses to sales. You can make a lot of different mistakes and still recover if you run an efficient operation. Or you can be brilliant and still go out of business if you're too inefficient. Finally, the 10th quality here for running a business, 10th rule, is ignore conventional wisdom. Swim upstream, go the other way. If everybody else is doing it one way, there's a good chance you can find your niche by going in exactly the opposite direction. But be prepared for a lot of folks to wave you down and tell you you're headed the wrong way. I guess in all my years, what I heard more often than anything was, a town of less than 50,000 population cannot support a discount store for very long. So some great words on the rules of how Sam built a business along with his leadership qualities intertwined within there. Sam had great success, but that would also not come with a few failures and challenges along the way here, so let's highlight those quickly. His first dive into the retail sector was acquiring that Ben Franklin store. So he operated that. While it provided valuable experience, it faced financial difficulties. He eventually lost the lease to the store. Setback really prompted him to seek new opportunities in retail and found Walmart. Early Walmart discount city store struggles. So they faced challenges in their initial years. The store struggled to attract customers and its location was not ideal. He really had to rely on hard work, innovation, and relentless focus on providing value to turn things around. Walmart did also face some good competition from Kmart and other retailers. So as they expanded, it faced fierce competition from other retail giants. In the 80s and 90s, Kmart was a dominant force in the industry, and Walmart had to continually innovate and adapt to compete effectively and really outsmart them over time. Labor union challenges. So with a lot of employees here, they've long faced criticism and challenges related to the labor unions. Critics argued that the company's treatment of employees and labor practices were subpar. While this issue persisted, it also prompted them to address and improve those practices over time. They nationally expanded, but then they also did international expansion, and so some of those were met with challenges. So they experienced difficulties in Germany and eventually exited that market. It learned that its successful U.S. model did not always translate seamlessly to other countries and had to adapt its strategies accordingly. And then more recently, e-commerce competition. So they initially struggled to compete with Amazon, and it took time and significant investments in technology and online retail to establish a competitive presence in the e-commerce space. And then finally, some negative public relations incidents. So these can pertain to issues such as environmental concerns, worker protests, criticisms of its business practices, really require the company to respond and adapt their strategies to improve its image over time. Really, Sam persevered through a lot of these failures and challenges, learning from the mistakes and continually evolving. Walton's ability to adapt, innovate, maintain a focus on delivering value to customers really has allowed Walmart to become one of the largest and most successful retail companies in the world. Mentors and heroes will be our final section again here. And one of the big ones here that Jim Senegal also mentioned, episode 1, is Sol Price, who really pioneered a lot of the different warehouse and retail concepts that were then adopted by Costco and Walmart. Adopted, stolen, borrowed, what have you. But Sam really points to Sol and says he learned more from him than about any other person. And what a lot of these things go to the core principles of what Walmart is. So innovative retail concept. So Sol being the pioneer in that space, creating the concept of the warehouse club store. Customers could buy products in bulk at lower prices by paying a membership fee. The innovative retail format appealed to value-conscious shoppers, significantly influencing that. Really admired his ability to think outside the box and create that model. Again, a commitment to low prices. So understanding the importance of offering value and saving customers money, it aligned with his Walton's own approach to retail and respected Price's dedication, really full-on dedication to the principle. Again, a customer-centric focus was something that Sol imprinted onto Sam, and he understood the needs of his customers and focused on delivering value and quality. This shared philosophy, emphasis on customer satisfaction, prioritized customer service and that satisfaction. Really at the core of this too is entrepreneurial spirit. So they were visionaries who built their empires from the ground up, sharing a passion for starting it, willingness to take risks in pursuit of those goals, identifying those opportunities and turning them into successful ventures. And Sam also learned from Sol to learn from others, namely within the industry and also outside of it. But Sam also had a habit of learning from competitors and other successful retailers. He recognized that Sol had achieved significant success with his warehouse club concept. Eager to understand the principles, Walton's curiosity and willingness to learn from others contributed to his own success. He also, at the same time, had deep respect for competitors, often visiting their stores to gain insights. It allowed him over time to gather valuable knowledge that he could apply to his own business. Sol Price, really a key figure there. And then you look at maybe obviously not a mentor to Sam, but Jeff Bezos really had a heavy influence, and you see a lot of different similarities between Bezos and Walton here, between the business model, the relentlessness, frugality, and the bias towards action. So again, Bezos and Walton here, retail innovation, they've both really coupled within that. Again, the customer is always right mantra, funneled down to Bezos and prioritizing the customer experience and focus within their products. The long-term visionary aspect to willing to forego short-term profits in pursuit of their broader goals over time. Amazon operated at a loss for several years before when they were investing in the infrastructure and technology to build out everything. Within their businesses too is supply chain logistics excellence. So Really getting as efficient as possible was something that Sam and Jeff shared, along with continuous innovation, learning from the competitors, and then resilience and adaptability. A few other mentors that Sam highlights here is Milo Wilcox. So his first boss and mentor when he worked at J.C. Penney before he started his own venture into retail. Wilcox taught Walton the fundamentals of retail management, merchandising, and customer service. He often credits him with teaching the importance of listening to customers and taking care of employees. Earl Rowe, while working at J.C. Penney, he also learned valuable retailing lessons from him, a senior executive at the company. He emphasized teamwork, training, and a people-first approach to management, all of which influenced Walton's later leadership style. Charlie Cate was another JCPenney executive who mentored him during the time at a company, admired his merchandising skills and business acumen. Cate's mentorship helped Walton gain a deeper understanding of the operations. Frank Woolworth of F.W. Woolworth Company and the founder of that was, although wasn't a direct mentor, he admired him and his concept of the five and dime store and the idea of offering a wide variety of low-priced items to customers. So that concept also influenced his own retail philosophy. Harry Cunningham was a fellow retailer who operated a Ben Franklin franchise in Newport, Arkansas, where Sam got his start. Often credits him with teaching him the ins and outs of operating the variety store. And then Charlie Baum was Sam Walton's father-in-law and a successful banker and businessman. While not a mentor in the traditional sense, his guidance and support were crucial during his early business ventures. A few other outside figures outside of the business industry that Sam admired some qualities on was President John F. Kennedy for his leadership and vision, respecting his emphasis on public service and community involvement. Walton was inspired by his call to ask what you can do for your country and applied this philosophy to his business endeavors. And finally, Thomas Jefferson, a deep appreciation for the founding fathers of the U.S., and particularly him. He admired his intellect, principles, and his contributions to American democracy. Walton often quoted his writings and ideas in his own speeches and writings there as well. And so with that, we come to the end of episode 19 here on Sam Walton, a great retail giant and leader in his own respect, a great leadership style that he exhibited through his rules for running a business, and then really a lot of the different qualities that you see within Sam's business, you can see within other leaders later on, such as Jeff Bezos, amongst others. With that will do it for episode 19, and we will be back shortly with episode 20. Thanks.